and we are going to move on to our spicy pepper pickled egg. Say that 5 times fast. Hi guys, welcome back to Kirstie FarmStead, and tonight we are going to be pickling eggs. This is actually a request from my husband's cousin Tiffany, and I wanted to say thank you for the request, and if anybody else has any requests, please put them in the comments, and we will get to them as soon as possible. So tonight we are going to be doing 3 different types of pickled eggs. We're going to be doing a golden turmeric, a super spicy one, and a sweet beet one. So we are just going to be doing a refrigerator pickled egg. We're not going to be actually canning them. It is not USDA approved to can eggs. However, a lot of people do can them, and so that if you decide to, just do your research and make sure that you're 100% comfortable with what you are doing before you do it. So tonight we are just going to be making them for the refrigerator, and then what we're going to do is we're going to wait 2 weeks and then we can try them. Alright, so let's get started. The first one we're going to do is the sweet beet. Alright you guys, first things first is we are going to wash these beets because they do grow in the dirt. So we're going to cut off the greens, and you can actually eat beet greens. They are super healthy for you, but these ones are not looking so hot, so I wouldn't eat them. I'm just going to feed them to my chickens. But we'll get these washed up and then we'll get them cooking. So there's actually a way that you can take beets and you just blanch them really quick, and then the skin, actually you can just scrub the skin off of them. But I only do that when I'm like canning a whole bunch of beets. It's super easy to just peel a couple real quick. Okay you guys, so we're going to cut the beets. Actually, I'm going to cut this in half because it'll be just easier to slice. We're going to cut them into about 1/4 inch slices. All right, then we're going to take and put them into our pot. And we are going to add about 1 quart of water because we're going to cook it down. We need 2 cups of beet liquid, and we're going to cook it down, and it's going to cook down by about half. So we'll get that on the stove and going. Alright you guys, so we just got done cooking down our beets. As you can see, I've reserved them here. There's a little bit of the beet juice in the bottom. And we are going to be slicing those once they cool off a little bit to put in to just layer with the eggs. So right now we're going to make our brine. We're going to pour 2 cups of apple cider vinegar and 2 cups of our beet juice into the pan. And then we are going to add 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Okay, now we're going to heat that up on the stove just until the sugar has fully dissolved. Alright you guys, so we have our brine made, and we are going to start packing our jar. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to put a couple onions in there. I want the brine to be able to get all the way around the eggs, right? So we're going to make a little buffer between the bottom of the jar. It's not really a big deal, but also, so if my eggs look a little off colored, it's because I let them sit in my pressure cooker too long. So I had the 5-minute I had the 5 minutes running, and then of course I got distracted by the kids, and 15 minutes went by, and they were just being held in there, and so that's why they did definitely get overcooked, but they're still good. They don't taste weird or anything, so I am going to use them. I'm not going to waste 4 dozen eggs that I did. So yeah, that's a fun little backstory of my brown eggs, or my tan colored eggs. So we should be able to fit about a dozen eggs in a quart-sized jar. So then we're gonna put a little bit. I'm gonna get out my canning funnel, so that will make this much easier. Just gonna add a little bit to the bottom, and then we will keep layering. It's easiest if you use medium-sized eggs for this. The large-sized eggs are you just won't fit as many into the jar. I wonder if I'm going to fit that in there. So I actually had 1 extra in my bowl, so I did fit 12 in here. I was confused because I thought I should be able to fit 12. So anyways, I am just going to stick some more beets down around it. This is definitely the easiest version that we're making tonight. And remember, you guys are just going to fill this up, and then you are going to put it in the fridge for 2 weeks. And we have a ton of brine left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save all of this, and I'm going to make more hard-boiled eggs tomorrow to do more with, so that we don't waste it. All right, so we are going to get the lid put onto that. There's that. And we are going to move on to our spicy pepper pickled egg. Say that 5 times fast. All right, I'll get this cleaned up and we'll be back. All right, you guys, now we are moving on to the super spicy pickled eggs. So we're going to put 2 cups of white vinegar and 2 cups of water into our pot. And we are going to add in 1 tablespoon of kosher salt and 1 tablespoon of peppercorns. The rest of this we're going to add directly into our jar. But we are going to heat this up really quick on the stove to make sure that the salt dissolves. While we are waiting for the salt to dissolve, I'm going to cut up these peppers. And these are a little bit older. As you can see, they're kind of starting to get a little wrinkly. But that is perfect for pickling. Waste not, right guys? Now, notice I am not touching the inside of the pepper with my hands. As I'm cutting, I'm moving down, so I only touch the outside of the pepper. I actually have a really low tolerance for capsaicin, and if I touch it with my bare hands, it is not good. I can eat it just fine, but oh man, touching it is a whole nother story. Alrighty, our salt has fully dissolved in our brine. And we're going to start packing. Okay, so to start with, we're going to put a couple peppers in the bottom. A few onions. And we're going to be using probably 5 or 6 of these garlic cloves. Okay, so we'll put one down there. And I'm gonna try to layer the spices with the eggs, okay? So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get some brine down in there. Whew, I can already smell the heat from these peppers. That is no joke, guys. Oops. I squished this egg. That is not good. You definitely want to try to not do that. All right. Okay, now we are going to top her off with the brine. So we used about 2 tablespoons of pickling seasoning. We used about 2 tablespoons of pickling seasoning and about 1.5 tablespoons of red pepper flakes. I'm just tapping it a couple times to get any air bubble, or to hopefully get any air bubbles. I still see one right there, but I don't want to break the outside of the egg to fix that. So all right, so there are those beautiful eggs. And let's get on to the last one, our golden turmeric eggs. Okay, you guys, so we are going to be doing our last pickled egg, and that is going to be the golden turmeric. So I was actually looking at the recipe, and the brine is almost exactly the same as the one for the spicy ones that we just made. So I am going to use our leftover brine. So if you're not making the spicy egg, you are going to take 1 cup of water and 1 cup of white vinegar and 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of black peppercorns, and you're going to put it in here. And then you're going to heat it up and until the salt is fully dissolved. All right, so then you are going to need a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger, about 6 garlic cloves, 2 teaspoons of turmeric, and 1 teaspoon of cayenne, 1 teaspoon of cayenne powder, and I am going to add some onions in there. But that is just me throwing them in there because I think they will be delicious. So we're going to start out with some ginger, and we're going to layer it just like we layered the other ones. I'm going to swirl that around in the bottom down there just to get that. You know what? I think I'm going to actually put all of my turmeric in the bottom, and because it's so powdery, I don't want it to be chunky. So I'm going to add that all in there. And I'm even going to put a pinch of red pepper flakes just for a little kick. I'm going to add some more brine, and I'm going to mix that up. Then we will add our eggs, And as we add the brine, it'll go. Oh, we're gonna put some onions down in there. This one, once I fill it, I'm going to rock back and forth to get that turmeric all the way through. I also want some more black peppercorns in there, so I'm going to fish them out of here just using my ladle and a strainer. All right, so we are going to get the lid on this guy, and then we're going to rock it. We want to distribute all of that turmeric and cayenne deliciousness. All right, so it's still high up there. I don't have too many air bubbles in. And there is the golden cayenne pickled eggs. All right, you guys, I really hope that you learned something from our video tonight. And look at these beautiful pickled eggs. I honestly cannot wait to try them. So the main thing is you have to wait 2 weeks. You got to put them in the back of your fridge and try to forget about them, because they really are going to be best if you let them sit for a while. Some people will like want to break right into them after a couple days, but they really are best if you wait at least 2 weeks. And then these should be good in your fridge as long as you don't put anything funky in there when you're pulling them out. You know, make sure you use clean utensils. They should be good in your fridge for about 4 months. So I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and have a great night and rest of your weekend. Okay, bye guys.